How long will it take to double your money? When we get into doubling money, we're solving for N. So let's take a look at the problem. You currently have $10,000 and need to grow this to $20,000. If you intend to invest this money to earn 5% per year, how long will it take you to meet your goal? Now, there's two ways we can tackle this problem. One of these is sort of a shorthand called the Rule of 72, and we'll get to that a little later. Let's go ahead and start with our financial calculator. What we're going to want to do is diagram the problem. So we currently have $10,000. So we know that $10,000 is what I currently have in my hand. It'll wind up being present value down the road. I need to grow this to $20,000. That would be my future value. So I'm doubling, right? 10 to 20. And then I can invest it at 5% per year. So no payments are in this problem. And the question becomes, how long then, how many periods will it take to double? I'm solving for N, or number of periods. When we show it on a timeline, it comes together nicely. We see FV as 20,000, PV as 10,000, payment is 0, IYR as 5%, and then we're going to solve for N, or solve for number of periods. So let's go ahead and knock this out on the calculator, and then we'll show the shorthand. On the calculator, we start by saying 5 is I. That's the interest rate we can accrue at. And then we say 10,000 plus minus PV. It's very important to have that plus minus here because we're showing $10,000 leaves our wallet. It should be negative. 0 payment. And then 20,000 FV, which is the goal of doubling our money. Go ahead and hit N and see how many periods it takes. It takes about 14.21 periods to double our money. And this is using a financial calculator. This is the correct answer, 14.21 periods. But there's times in our lives where we want to have a conversation with a client, a conversation with a consumer, and maybe a financial calculator isn't lying around. So we can use the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 is an approximation that says I can take the number of periods times an interest rate should equal 72 when I'm doubling my money. And with that in mind, then, the interest rate would be 72 divided by the time it takes to double. 72 is a constant when I'm doubling money, and just kind of remember the Rule of 72. And so we can see it applied here. In the example we just saw, we would take a 5% interest rate. You would take 72 divided by 5, and you will get 14.4 years. Pretty close to 14.2. We can also use the Rule of 72 to find an interest rate needed to double money. So let's say that you need to double your money in 10 years. What kind of interest rate do you need to get? Well, if that's the case, you would take 72 divided by 10 years, 72 over 10, and you would say 7.2%. So we know if we have 10 years, we would need to earn 7.2% to double our money. The Rule of 72 gets you really close. It probably gets you close enough for an exam. I prefer the financial calculator, but if you're just kind of talking with somebody about investments over time, the Rule of 72 will get the job done.